How's that, guys? Can you hear me now? Thank you, Medic G, for that. I appreciate it. So now I can kind of start the show over. I guess my computer had the different mic running that doesn't exist. So, again, welcome to the show. This is the Jedi Knights Watch 6 Scale Symposium. Hopefully, if you're watching this after the fact, you didn't just quit on it and go somewhere else, because that's kind of sucks having a whole minute or two worth of no audio and just me rambling. So again, happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Thank you guys for joining in the show. I know 6 Scale Cantina just has his show going on too, so I'm sure a lot of people are there, and hopefully people will just be kind of trickling in as we go. But it's Valentine's Day. Brother Cousins was supposed to be my special guest, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because it's really good for him, he canceled on me this morning because his wife is going into labor today. So how cool is that for Jay from Brother Cousins Toy Review? So congrats to you, sir, and big news. So I just kind of had to throw this together last minute. Couldn't get another guest just because everybody was already tied up. So it's just going to be me and you guys talking. So if you're in the chat, just make sure that you're asking any questions, saying what's up, checking in. I'd appreciate it. If you're watching this after the fact, shoot me a note in the comments below. And I'm excited for a good time tonight. So let's get into it. Let's get into the news and notes. All right. So on my end for news and notes, the Govee Glide, the wall light that I actually have up here in my office, is up now, and you can go check that out. So that is it's a cool video because it's something different that you can add to your collection display, and I think it gives your display a really cool look. So go check out the Govee Glide. I did also do a Hot Toys Endgame Thor review, and that's coming out probably later this week. It's pretty much done. I'm just kind of working on just some of the editing on that, and then that should be up soon. That's a pretty cool figure. I'm really glad that I got the Endgame Thor. I did actually sell the Infinity War Thor, so I did like it enough to let that one go. So I'm looking forward to that one dropping. And then my Stormtrooper helmet, my Hasbro Black Series helmet, it showed up in the mail, so I did get that in as well, and I'll probably be reviewing that in the next couple of weeks. So that's pretty much it on my end. This is kind of the time of the year where it's really slow for releases and announcements. I do think it's going to pick up pretty quick, but being with the Chinese New Year and whatnot, it's kind of the slower part of the year. So I do think we still have a lot to talk about tonight, though. So I think it'll be a fun time. So hopefully you guys are ready to hang out and have a good time. And Medic G says that he bought one of those lights because of the video. Well, awesome. I hope you like it, because I know I sure do. It really just transforms the room. So definitely worth getting, and pretty affordable, if I might say so myself. All right, guys. If you haven't heard, Hot Toys did announce a new figure last week, I believe. And it's another quarter scale. It is the Boba Fett quarter scale figure, and this guy looks pretty sweet. Has anybody seen this out there? Is anybody going to get this? This is tempting. I mean, I got the Dark Knight Rises, the quarter scale, and that was kind of me dipping my toes. I also have the NECA Turtles, which are quarter scale as well. But I was just really concerned about getting more quarter scale, because I think for most of us, if we're in the Hot Toys community, we're already kind of we're too far gone in the 6 scale to start collecting quarter scale. But it's nice that that option is there for either new collectors or statue collectors, or maybe people that just want 1 or 2 figures in quarter scale. So it's cool that they're doing these. It gives you extra options. But for me, space is an option. Also, I already have 50 6 scale figures, so I just don't think I can pull the trigger on this. As much as it looks really cool and as much as I want it, I just don't know. So But let's take a look at it here. This head sculpt. This head sculpt is where it's at. It's spot on to Tamira Morrison, I think his name is. I can't believe it. It looks like I'm looking at a photo of the actor himself. Like the Hot Toys, the 6 scale one was really super accurate, but this one almost just knocks that one out of the water as well. So for how good we thought that was, this one is even better. And if you don't know with quarter scale, the bigger you go, obviously, the more detail you can have in these figures. It's really hard to pack all that detail into 6 scale. And that's another reason why they're so cool, is because they are so detailed. But the quarter scale are even that much better. He comes with a diorama base, which I'm really happy to see. I really like that Hot Toys is going with these diorama bases, because it's a huge selling point, and it really puts you in the scene where this figure is from. When we get these normal plastic bases, they just they look more like a toy, and they kind of take you out of that realism factor, in my opinion. So the fact that Hot Toys is giving us these bases is a big thumbs up from me. And the other reason they're doing this is because they need to compete with the statue game. A lot of people are getting into third scale, quarter scale, and this is Hot Toys' way of saying, hey, you don't have to go over into the statue collecting world. We can give you a quarter scale figure, and you can do anything you want with it. You can repose it, and we give you a diorama base, and the detail is second to none. So I think that's what Hot Toys is really doing. They're giving those options because people want to branch out and get these quarter scale figures. Before we go any further, let's just check in with a couple of you guys here. It looks really cool. Just don't have any quarter. That's the thing. Like, if you don't have any quarter scale figures, it's really tough to indulge in this, because where do you stop? I mean, I know so many people that are just like, wow, I only get one hot toy, I only get two hot toys, and then they wind up like me with a whole wall of figures in the back. So it's tough because they take up a lot of real estate. Primetime reviews in the house. Hey everyone, Bobo, a quarter scale was a day one pre-order for you. Now, Primetime, do you collect quarter scale already? Or is this going to be your first quarter scale figure? I'd love to know about that. Daniel says, is that a figure in 6 scale sense or a statue? I'm not sure what the question is. I'm sorry. Is that a figure in the 6 scale sense or a statue? Well, it's a figure. I'll definitely pick it up if Hot Toys makes it in 6 scale. Well, so maybe that's kind of what you guys are asking. So they're making this one somewhat in 6 scale as well. It's the repainted version. So if you guys, I would assume, other than the base, it's the same one, I would believe, on the throne, right? Let's see. I search Hot Toys Boba and no Boba Fett comes up. That's pretty cool. Thanks. Let's try Fett. Oh, they don't make this easy on you, do they? There's one. I think it's this one. Are these different? So he's got the robes, and then he's got the repaint. Let's just click on this. So what's the difference? Slide this over. That's not the right one. Oh, I'm getting all screwed up here. Oh, because it's here. So yeah, he's got the robes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the same. He's got the belt, looks the same. Paint apps look about the same. So I mean, it is going to be available in 6 scale as well. You're just not going to get probably as much detail packed in, as well as that diorama base. What base does this guy even come with? He just comes with the plain Jane Star Wars base. So I think he is going to be pretty comparable, but you're going to get this awesome base. Plus, he's going to be in quarter scale. So yeah, you could still get this in 6 scale. costume and paint job are a little different. Yeah, probably just a little bit, but I believe it's both from the book of Boba Fett. So, I mean, here's quarter scale. How did I get into that one here? But the cool thing about this, if I can get back to that image, I do believe I will get this one, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. We're going to talk about how Book of Boba Fett ended, and how do we feel about how it ended? Do we think it kind of dampens the excitement for some of these new figures, or does it stay the same? That's kind of what I want to talk about. But this Boba Fett looks pretty cool, and I do have my eye on this one. So we got Clink in the house. What up, all? What's up, Clink? Thank you for stopping in, brother. We're just talking a little bit about Boba Fett, the quarter scale, and we're kind of comparing them with the 6 scale. And they do pretty much look the same. They might have a little bit of a different paint application, but for the most part, it's the same figure. But the texture on the helmet, like, that looks really cool. It actually looks like something that you've painted over a few times, and it just has that texture to it. So I don't think you can go wrong with either one here. They both look really good, but quarter scale, man, I would love to have more quarter scale. Daniel, is it fully posable? Yeah, so it's a Hot Toys figure just in quarter scale form. So this is how they're kind of competing with the statue industry, is that they're giving you these same size figures, but it's a figure, it's posable. It's, you can do what you want with it. So I do like that base a lot. And that's something that's really exciting about Hot Toys lately, is they're really putting some work into these bases. We're not just getting those hexagon or those octagon bases that are flat and boring. These just really add a lot to it. The only bad thing is sometimes they add too much height. So for wherever you're putting it, your space is limited. But man, look at this head sculpt. This just blows me away. I'm sorry. And that's something you're not going to get with the 6 scale figure unless you get Boba with the throne, I believe. Does Boba with the throne come with a head sculpt? That would be interesting to know. Let me scroll through. Yeah, he does. So that's something to keep in mind if you're looking at 6 scale Boba Fett and you want that head sculpt. You're going to have to get, if you want the repainted and you want the head sculpt, you have to get the Boba and the throne. Or if you already got the 2-pack from the Mandalorian, you could use that head sculpt on this one, but then you aren't using it with your other 2 figures or one of your other 2 figures, so that might not work either. But yeah, this is exciting. Just on the detail that Hot Toys is getting to. Like, honestly, that looks like an image of Boba Fett, of the actor Tamira Morrison. Like, seriously, what's wrong with that head sculpt? You find me something wrong with that head sculpt. I don't think so. I don't think you can do it. So, man, it just blows my mind how Hot Toys is just evolving into really perfecting these head sculpts lately. It's awesome. It's just kind of a shame how Boba Fett ended. Now, it's still a cool figure. I think a lot of people will still get this. I know Aries over at 6 scale Cantina was talking about this would be his first quarter scale figure. So, I mean, that's enough to get people to jump in. All right. So that's Boba Fett. That's everything you get. Comes with quite a bit of accessories. I like the fact that the diorama base has steps, because it's always nice to kind of put the figure into that more dynamic pose, and you're going to be able to do that with that. So looks real, real good. All right. If you guys haven't heard, anybody hear any news on Ahsoka from Clone Wars releasing? Anybody hear anything? Anybody looking forward to her releasing? Anybody have her pre-ordered? I bet Daniel has her pre-ordered, because I think he has every Star Wars figure pre-ordered. So there was kind of another uproar here on the Ahsoka figure. These are, if anybody isn't aware, they uploaded the PDF instruction manual to Sideshow. And this got a lot of people pretty worried, pretty frazzled on what the finished product is going to look like. And more so, let me take a look here. Which image was it? I think it was this one right here. Let me zoom in. Chapow, 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 pow, pow. One more. Nope, that's as far as I can go. You can get the idea, I think. So a lot of people saw this image, and this is the prototype, and they're just like, this looks like junk. This doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like. The eyes are bugging out. The lips look like a different shape. Even her jaw might be a little bit different. The hood looks like a different material. It doesn't look like this over here. And people are just concerned that, are we going to be let down with this figure? Is this going to be a problem? Like, here, look at these eyes bugging out. Looks like a dead stare type of thing going on. And I'm not too concerned. So I just want everybody, if you are worried about this, to just relax. I think we're going to be okay. This is the instruction manual. This isn't the finished product. This isn't a photographer posing these things and, you know, making it look pretty. Like, in my opinion, for the instruction manual, Hot Toys has got to be thinking, well, you already own the figure, so why would I put a lot of time and money to make the instruction manual look amazing? Like, typically you look at the instruction manual when you already have the figure in hand, right? I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't ever look at the instruction manuals before buying a figure or really anytime. So I'm not too worried. Like, this is the final product that they already had, and yes, this is really nicely shaped to Ahsoka's head. The eyes do look very good. These do look problematic, I guess, but these are the steps on showing you how to get to that final product, how to get it to look like this. So how, this is a different angle altogether on Ahsoka. It's not This is, the one here, the finished one, is a little lower. This one, the eyes don't look set, like they might have to be adjusted up a little bit. And then also, I'm guessing that there's going to be a wire in this cape, and they literally just put it on from here, and then you mold it to how, around her head like this, and, set the eyes where you need them to be at. So, and this could even be pre-production photos. Like, this could be before they even produced her and they just did the manuals. So we don't know it. It's not the end of the world. I wouldn't get upset if anybody saw these and saw people talking about them and are worried. Hot Toys is better than that to just give us a figure that looks like garbage. I mean, the eyes here do look like a little buggy, in my opinion, but I hope that's maybe just the angle of the photo or the angle that the eyes are set at. I'm hoping that it's just, there wasn't, they didn't take too much time to really pose this figure. They just really snapped some shots and put it into the instruction manual, and this is how it works. But it's interesting too on how the face kind of pops out, and then you have the tool for the eyes, and then just pops back in. So this leads me to believe that she is going to be released very, very soon. And I know everybody's been waiting a long time for Ahsoka to be dropped. And I got to say, with this just being uploaded, I think it's another step in the right direction. I'm thinking very, very soon she will be released. But what do you guys think? Does anybody have any thoughts on if you really think this is going to be a problem, if you're not too worried about it, because, hey, this is just the instruction manual. Hot Toys isn't going to be, putting a whole lot of effort or work into these, because you should already have the figure if you're really looking at it. Love to hear what you guys think in the chat and in the comments below. Medic says he pre-ordered the Clone Wars Ahsoka, but he's debating on whether to cancel and pick up the one from the Mandalorian. That's the one that I went with, was the Mandalorian Ahsoka. I'm more of a Mandalorian fan and kind of trying to complete that line. Not complete it, but build it up a little bit. I have watched Clone Wars, but not religiously. I haven't seen all the episodes. So, yeah, I think either one's a really good choice. I think this Ahsoka is going to look great, but I don't know, something about the Rosario Dawson, the live action. I want all my figures to match. So I have Mando, we have the Armorer. I'm gonna get a Boba Fett as well. But I don't think you can go wrong. I know a lot of people would say get both, but I don't know how realistic that is. Daniel says I have a large 6-scale Star Wars collection. Adding a quarter scale figure would look out of place, in my honest opinion, but it does look awesome. I agree. And that's why, like, I have all of my figures at the back of the room. And then I have my quarter scale Batman kind of at like my desk because I don't really plan on getting a ton of quarter scale. So he kind of just has his own spot. I don't know if you have room that you could do something like that. Um, but that's an option. I have my Thanos over here as well, just because he doesn't fit until I get the Maju cases. And then we have the 1-to-1 scale Nano Gauntlet, and then my Han Solo and Carbonite but once my Maju cases come in, Thanos will go in there, Han Solo and Carbonite, but Batman still won't fit. So that's the thing. You got to find space for these guys. They don't just fit anywhere. I mean, if you put them in a DTOF, I think you can maybe do 3 shelves, 2 to 3. Medic says, I think it'll look great. Pretty much all the instruction manuals have no updated head sculpts. Exactly. Like, this could be pre-production. It's not the final image. Let's judge it based on the final images that come out, when it's released. Duh Collector, wonder if any other manuals are up for Sideshow. That's a good question. Duh Collector, I think you won the IG-11 from 6 Scale Mafia. Is that true? Congrats if you did. That's a pretty cool prize that he gave out. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, he's talking about pre-orders. Maybe like a Jango Fett, a Loki, ones that we're really on the cusp of getting. Maybe that's a telltale sign that it's coming soon. So like me, I've only been in the game a couple of years, so like, I'll definitely kind of put tabs on this one. Like if the instruction manual came up and then she releases in like a week, then I'll kind of know, yeah, that's a sign. Daniel says, yep. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. I'm not going to get it, but I know there's a ton of Clone Wars fans out there. So this is a big deal. People have been waiting on Ahsoka for a long, long time, and it's pretty cool. Let's see what other... Oh, it's telling you how to put the blade in. Oh, she's got... Oh, that's pretty cool. She's got that too. Pretty cool, man. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is just the eyes kind of looking buggy. I hope she doesn't have a death stare because, yeah, I mean, like here too. But again, this is not the final product. So, but like, yes, if she looks like this, oh, she's gonna look great. So no worries about that. No worries whatsoever, guys and gals. Did anybody see the Doctor Strange trailer that was released? Was that yesterday or the day before? That looks pretty interesting. Does anybody catch who they're gonna cross over into Doctor Strange 2? Sounds like it was sounds like there might be a couple characters from X-Men crossing into the Doctor Strange movie to the alternate universe. So it's interesting. Daniel says they come with instruction manuals. I know, it's like I very rarely look at an instruction manual. I do think they're a good idea for beginners, that they really should, because you can easily break these things, or I think Iron Man figures and stuff like that definitely should look at the manuals. But yeah, some of these, it's like common practice where you're just like, I already know that. Like, geez. Clink says the trailer is all over the place. It looks good with a lot of cameos. Yeah, Medic G says it looks dope. Can't wait. It does look good. I'm excited to see it. I am going to see the Batman. I'm really excited about that. So I did miss out on Spider-Man. And I'm hoping that comes out on video soon, because I haven't seen that yet. And I do know pretty much all the spoilers, but excited for the Batman. That's only like 2.5 weeks away, I think, for Batman. I do think that'll be good. But Yeah, Doctor Strange. It could be all over the place, but I don't know. We'll see. There were definitely Ultron bots in that trailer. It's a good catch. Yeah, I definitely heard the professor's voice as well. Marvel Illuminati was teased. What superhero movie are you guys most looking forward to in 2020? Because we do have a lot of stuff coming out, Marvel and DC. Obviously, for me, it's going to be the Batman, but then after that, it's going to be Thor: Love and Thunder. I didn't see the Black Adam trailer. I gotta hit that one up yet too. But I'm wondering if that'll be any good. I mean, The Rock's usually pretty solid. No pun intended. Oh right. So yeah, that trailer's coming out. That'll be interesting to see. Is um what's her name? Help me out here. Is Wanda, is she going to be the villain? I think there'll be a bigger villain, but I think she'll be like misguided and she'll kind of be the bad guy for a little bit, but then I think she'll kind of come to a realization that, whatever she's doing is wrong type of thing. But Medic G says the Batman for me. I don't think they can miss on this one. I think DC needs to hit one. So I do think that it will be slower than maybe we're used to, just because it's going to be more of that detective movie type, and it's 3 hours. But I do think it's going to be really good. So I'm really excited for that. Moon Knight looks good. I know nothing about the character. I never heard of the character until the trailer. To be honest, I saw the trailer and I don't know, it didn't speak to me. I'm not. I don't know. That one I'll watch, but it'll probably be when it comes out on video. I'm not in a big hurry to see that one. The only quarter scale figure I would definitely pick up if Hot Toys ever makes one would be a Ben Affleck Batman. Yes, that would be so cool. The Beast himself, man. That would be awesome. I would definitely get that as well. I'd even probably sell the Dark Knight Rises Batman to get that one. That's for sure. The Batman for this year, 6 scale Separatist. Yeah, I mean, so much hype for that movie, and it was even delayed because of COVID. It was supposed to come out last fall, so we've waited an extra 6 months for this thing. Oh, not worried about the Ahsoka figure at this point. I don't think you should be. It'll be fine. Let's judge it based on the released photos, once it's out. So I think we'll be okay. But people get people get nervous because we've had some bad experiences with Tony Stank, um, a few others, even the Wonder Woman Golden Armor. Everybody kind of was up in arms about that. I won't lie, even me a little bit when I first saw the pictures, but different photographer, different lighting, different angles. It all just depends on that kind of stuff. So, all right, guys. So we got 10 folks in the room here. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. What I want to do tonight yet is talk about my thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett, the finale, as well as just the show as a whole, and then what that means for the Star Wars Book of Boba Fett figures that are on pre-order. Will they take a hit? Will they be fine? My thoughts on that. And then, because it is Valentine's Day, I want to play. That's not a game. I had a game in mind, but because Brother Cousins is out, I want to play 5 figures that I love and will never sell. And I want you guys to think about either one figure or a couple figures that you love so much that you would never, ever sell. I'd love to hear what those are once we get to that point. A new game that I want to play next episodes coming up too with fellow collectors it's a versus game. And it's like you get, for example, the Joker Dx8 versus the Joker Dx11. You can only pick one to take home and one's got to go. Which one would it be and why? And I think you can learn a lot about collectors, what they're into, what is important to them in figures. So I'm looking forward to playing that with a couple other collectors out there, just kind of seeing what people gravitate towards and which figure they would pick. So some of them could be like really similar, like a different Iron Man bodies, different Jokers, different Batmans, or they could be just, you know, Star Wars figures and different. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I'm actually looking forward to unveiling that next week and kind of playing that game. So, but for tonight, we're gonna do the 5 figures that I love and I won't sell. I never say never, but I won't sell it. Things could change, but at this point, no. We got Brayden in the house. Yo, Jedi Knight. What's up, sir? Hey, thanks for stopping by the channel. We're about to have some fun here. So thanks for coming over. What did you guys think about the Book of Boba Fett finale? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it okay? What did you think of the series as a whole? I want your thoughts too, because I want this to be a discussion between us, and I want to try to work through it with you guys. So, of course, there have been a ton of people talking about this already. You know, the finale came out last Wednesday. It's already Monday night, but I like to let things sit for a little bit and let them digest before I talk about them online or before I get an opinion. I just like to sit and let it ride for a little bit, but I also like you guys to have time to watch it before I talk about it, because I don't want to be spoiling it for everybody. And I want you to be able to watch this show and, have already seen that as well. So I give it some time so that we can talk about it without spoiling it for everybody. But I did want to do a live stream that night that it came out and just talk about it and vent and rave about certain parts too. But I was just like, nope, let's just think about it. Let's let it sit for the week and we'll talk about it on Monday. So Braden says that he enjoyed the series, but he thinks it was just okay. 7 out of 10. That's pretty much where I would put it as well. It's about a 7 out of 10, which isn't terrible. I enjoyed the finale more the second watch. Overall, I give the series an 8 out of 10. That's a good point, Clink. I've only seen the finale once. I wanted to go back and rewatch it because I thought maybe I would like it a little bit more, but I just haven't been able to do it yet. So hopefully I can watch it again really soon. I shouldn't say I haven't had time, because I've actually watched over the weekend. I watched Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and part of Star Wars The Force Awakens. I tried watching The Last Jedi again. I hadn't seen it since theaters, but it lost me right when we got to that casino planet. I can't do it. I gave up. So I stopped watching that. But man, every time I watch Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, it always brings me back to childhood memories, and I'm always like reminded of how good those movies are. And Star Wars A New Hope is really good too, but man, for some reason I just cannot get over how good those movies are and how much I enjoy them. They are some of my favorite movies ever. So, but enough about that. Let's talk about Book of Boba Fett. But before I get into it, a couple more comments here. Braden says, try not to spoil, but our two heroes fighting together was really awesome. Yeah, there will be spoilers here. So if anybody hasn't seen it, you may want to just hop off and come back, or just be okay with spoilers. I enjoyed the series as a whole. Story-wise, I had some issues. I'm just happy we got the experience. Star Wars universe, again, 7 out of 10. I think 7 out of 10 is pretty respectable, and that's pretty much what I would give it to. I enjoyed the series. I didn't think it was great, though. There was a lot of issues I had with it. And just because I nitpick, it doesn't mean I don't like it or that it wasn't good. So don't hear what I'm not saying. I just thought it was weird how they decided to go, like, it felt all over the place. Like, they go with flashbacks, and then we're present day with Boba, but he's not really doing much. Then we just flip all the way over to Mando. It was all over the place. It didn't know who it wanted to be its star, and I felt like it was almost like Disney's like trying to just plug Mando in, like their new character. They're just trying to plug Grogu and Mando in so that you have to watch this series. So like they're just gaining more and more of an audience. Like for anybody that didn't watch Mando and they're watching Book of Boba Fett, they, we'll put our plug in for our show that's really awesome, so that you kind of have to watch it. It felt like that a little bit. Cad Bane was really cool, but too short. Like, I would have loved to see more Cad Bane. I think we still might. I don't know if he's actually dead or not, because again, his chest thing was beeping. So we'll see. But I thought the fight was good, but it was too short. Like, I wanted to see more Cad Bane. I wanted that to be more of a climactic battle, and it just wasn't. I felt like overall the finale was, it was really slow, and then it kind of, the end just really wrapped up really quick. Like we had like a gunfight for like the majority of the episode, and it was just back and forth. And the 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 droids I didn't really care about. Like I thought they could have done a better, I guess, villain that they were fighting in the episode. I thought maybe Cad Bane could have had a bigger part in the episode, and maybe, I don't know. I didn't care about the droids. Like I'm just like, oh, there's some droids that have them pinned, and whatever. But I don't know. I didn't feel like there was any surprises. I didn't feel like there was any risks taken. I felt like it was a linear thing. We got to get through this, and then it'll be the end, and everybody will be happy, and then we're good. I know we always have our high hopes, and we're always like really just kind of like theorizing all these things that are going to happen, and then we get ourselves let down. But I just didn't see anything that was like, usually they have some sort of a surprise at the end, or some twist, something. It was just like, oh well, okay, we beat them, and now we'll just rule, and here's a grapefruit black chrysanthemum, and we're all just gonna get along now, and that's that. I also didn't feel like as a series that they built up the characters very well. Boba Fett, I love the backstory. I thought that was really cool. I'm glad we saw how he got out of the Sarlacc pit. But Black Chrysanthemum, I didn't really care about. I thought I would, because I thought he was going to be badass, but I didn't see enough of him. I didn't get enough of his character. Same thing with, I mean, I didn't really like the Vespa gang, but again, just very shallow. Like no story buildup or character development for those guys. Fennec was really great, but even like the mayor, I don't know, the syndicate, I didn't feel like we learned enough. I thought like it was just too much punched into 7 episodes that we just couldn't get enough. So it felt a little Game of Thronesy there, where it was like rushed just a little bit. So the other problem I had was the end scene with Cobb Vanth in the Bacta tank. Did anybody else think that was going to be Cad Bane? I thought for sure when he was like, "Oh, well, somebody's using the Bacta tank." I'm like, "Oh, is he keeping Cad Bane alive for some reason? Like now he owes him, or he's gonna use him for something." And then I saw it was Cobb Vanth, and I'm like, "Well, we already knew Cobb Vanth was alive, so this isn't like a moment. This is something we already knew." And then we had the guy that was gonna, the robotics guy that was gonna kind of, um, I guess, transform him, or modify him is the word I'm looking for. But then the other thing I'm thinking is, why does he need to be modified? Didn't he just take one in the wing here in the shoulder? Like what? What's the point? Are we gonna give him a whole new arm, or I don't know. I don't know, guys. But I did love episodes 5 and 6, but I thought it really hurt the rest of the series. It, like the finale couldn't live up to the hype of 5 and 6. So I thought that was a problem. Like it was some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen, but it just kind of hurt the rest of the story. It was Book of Boba Fett. Maybe if they rebranded it as something else, nobody would have cared. But I didn't think the direction for Boba Fett was great. I thought the flashbacks was awesome. I loved seeing Boba Fett and Mando fighting together. Thought that was a very epic scene. Really enjoyed that. I did like seeing the Rancor as well, in all those scenes with the Rancor and him going King Kong and stuff like that. So that was really fun. What else did I like in that episode? Because it sounds like I didn't like it much, but there was some pretty cool stuff. I do feel like Grogu should have been with Luke longer. And the reason I say that is because in season 2, the whole point of the season is to get Grogu with his people, with the Jedi, because that's who he is. and he finally does at the end of the season. All this work pays off, and then right away he comes back, and it kind of just negates the whole season 2 plot point, which I get. Things in life we strive for, and they don't always work out. So, we're like, oh, we did this, and then no, it didn't work out that way. So I get it. Things can happen like that. But I just thought Grogu should have been with him longer. Like, there should have been more episodes where he wasn't with Mando. But again, it's Disney being like, well, geez, Grogu is our moneymaker. Like, we got to have these two together. These guys are the show. So I have a feeling that that's kind of what they did. The other problem I had with those droids that they were battling was they were such terrible shots. You would think a droid would aim better than a stormtrooper, but like they couldn't hit anything. And I'm just like, man, like, I don't know. I'm not buying it. So those are my thoughts. Not sure if there's a future direction or if we'll get a season 2. But I don't know. I just, it was good, but it wasn't great. I enjoyed it for Star Wars, and I'll watch it again. I'm not going to just keep bashing or anything like that, but I just hope Disney just kind of uses this as like a learning, um, tool, and that they actually make the upcoming series better. And I'm really hoping for big things for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So with that, let's just check back in with you guys now that I kind of went on my rant and let you know kind of what I thought. Braden says, I just want to release, even if it's a figure that I'm not getting. I just want excitement in the community. Fair enough. That's pretty unselfish of you. Can't believe we didn't see Bosk. Yeah, there was a lot of figures, or a lot of characters that we thought we'd see Bosk. There's rumors of Han and Chewie. The Syndicate, didn't see anybody from the Syndicate. Mace Windu. We thought maybe we would see Mace Windu come back. Didn't see that. But I mean, they still gave us a lot of cool stuff. So it's hard to be too hard on them. I mean, they gave us an episode of Luke. They gave us a little bit of Ahsoka back. They did give us some cool stuff. So, but yeah, you always want more, man. Some scenarios in the last episode didn't make sense. And that spin, the spin, I know what you're talking about there. I didn't think he needed his own series. Part of the allure of him is the mystery of not knowing a lot about him. It was okay. I agree about the Cad Bane fight. So watching Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi again, he really doesn't do anything, Boba Fett. We see just him standing there. We see a couple head nods. And then he literally gets hit in the back of his rocket and goes into the Sarlacc pit. So, yeah, there was a lot of unknown about him. A lot of mystery about him, and now we see him and he's always got his helmet off and he's talking and ruling with respect. I didn't know if I bought it, I guess is what I would say. I didn't know if I bought it. Should have been another scene at the end with some dialogue with Boba Fett and his gang. Left me hanging, wanting more. Yeah, I didn't think the Cobb Vanth scene was necessary because we all knew he was alive. And I don't see why he needs to be modded when he got shot in the shoulder. Medic G, doesn't everybody spin before firing their blaster? Yeah, waste of an end credit scene. Daniel, yeah, helps you aim better. We got Jables in the house. What's up, sir? Thought the last episode was lackluster. However, the Rancor is pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, it sucked because I was like halfway through and I was just like, oh boy, I'm like checking the time left on this thing. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not all into it here. It's okay, but I'm like, how much time we got left? And by the end, I was just like, just don't feel very satisfied, I think was what I was looking for. Daniel liked the finale. It wasn't perfect, but it was enjoyable. And it wasn't bad. It was just, I think, again, we we're just expecting more. As to the series as a whole, I felt it was rushed. They could have explored certain aspects more, like the different crime families. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I was waiting for the Tusken Raiders to appear at the end, especially the woman Tusken Raider. We never saw her body. I agree. I was waiting for that too, and I thought that was somebody that was gonna maybe be a prisoner, and he was gonna see that and then be enraged and go off. But yeah, didn't see that either. So that was kind of a shame. So my question for you guys is, um, what do we think this does for sales of Book of Boba Fett figures? Does this do anything? Does it hurt them negatively, or do you think, nah, they'll be fine? Do you think things sit on the shelves a little longer now that we've seen, the series kind of end? Because I'll tell you, I was all in for Boba Fett and the throne, and now I'm just not so sure. Like, and you could argue and say, well, that's a Mandalorian figure because that's the end scene of season 2 of the Mando, and that's fine. You can argue that, but I don't know. Some of the hype just died off for me a little bit, and I'm still gonna get a Boba Fett repaint, but it might just be the single figure now. Like, I don't know if I need the throne. Maybe not. I don't know, but I'm not as all in as I was on episode 2 or 3 type of thing. Like, now that I've seen it come full circle, it's just because it wasn't great, it was good. I'm just like, well, I don't know. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think anything sits a little bit longer? And let me just chime into Sideshow here as well, because I just want to see kind of where the sales are at this point, and they could still be pretty high, and they could not. Let's just do Hot Toys Star Wars. And I'll share this with you. Let's go to pre-release. And we're going to sort it with best sellers. See if I can zoom out a little bit more here. All right, so these are the best sellers as of right now. I know the Boba Fett figures, I think the 2-pack was number 1 for a while. So it looks like Mando figures are climbing. This figure is awesome. I can't wait to get that one. Well, I'm probably just going to get the cheaper one. I don't need the luggage carrier rack. I'll be good with this one, but I do want that one for sure. I know a lot of people really liked this 2-pack here. I don't really need the Tusken Raider robe Boba Fett, so if I were to get the bird poop one, it would be the solo one here. That's a possibility too. Fennec's kind of come down a little bit. Where's that Boba in the throne? Where is it? So he's down here. And then the other one's right here. So, I mean, tough to say. I don't know where they were 2 weeks ago before the finale came out, but I do know a couple of these were closer to the top, at least these two. But again, you could argue that they're technically for the Mandalorian. But I don't know, like, do people buy these figures because they look really cool, or do they buy them because they really enjoyed the show and they have that connection? For me, it's got to be the connection. I'm not just going to buy a figure because he looks really cool. I don't know. It's too much money for me to do that. Like, I got to buy something that's got some meaning, got some nostalgia feelings for me. And obviously, the cool factor goes into that. But if I don't have that connection, I'm not just going to buy a figure because it looks cool. I'm not going to go buy Lord of the Rings Gandalf because he just looks so good. Like, it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not going to put that in my collection. So I'm just curious if some of these do sit a little bit longer just because the series is so split on people that loved it and people that just didn't like it. So that's what I'm wondering here. Clink says, in my opinion, I'm not sure Boba deserves a throne, and people might not want that. I want the Book of Boba Fett version with the clean head sculpt. But if you want that clean head sculpt, then you have to get it with the throne because Where is he? Because this guy doesn't come with the throne. Or, I'm sorry, doesn't come with the head sculpt. So that's where they get you. You either have to use the head sculpt from your 2-pack that you got, or you have to get the repainted with the throne to get that head sculpt. The head sculpt is really nice, but if I'm going to have my Boba Fett, he's going to be all in. I bet it's nice to change it out, but I would probably have him with the helmet on, in my opinion. I don't think the figures will take a major hit, but they will sell on the shelves longer than expected. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll just not sell or people just won't want to get them. I just am wondering, like, there was so much hype with that Boba Fett 2-pack. I'm just wondering if that dies down now. And, like, this guy doesn't come out. Here's the other thing. This guy's expected to ship October to December of 2022. That's a long time away yet. So if we're already feeling this way, and then and then it just dies down even further as we go, even further into the future, what is that going to do? Like, are people going to be all over it by that time? Or maybe they'll be more in love with it by that time because it's had time to sit. They've rewatched it. They enjoy it now. Expectations weren't so high. So who knows? Maybe it'll have a positive outlook on it as well, that maybe it will sell okay because it'll give people time to heal from the high expectations, if you will. Jable says he'll probably still get the throne just because it's unique, but you're right, it doesn't carry a lot of emotional value. Well, and we just didn't, I don't know, we didn't see him on it. It does look cool. I do like the Rancors on it too. That's pretty sweet, and he would look pretty cool in a Maju case. Who knows? Maybe I'll still get it. I don't know, but I don't need it, I guess is what I'm saying at this point. We got Lewis in the house. Says, howdy, y'all. What's up, Lewis? Thanks for coming in, man. All right, so let's play a game. Or maybe not a game, but Daniel says, I'm not sure episodes 5 and 6 were really germane to the Book of Boba Fett. Exactly. I mean, it was great to see all that stuff, but it didn't really do the series itself any favors. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is, because it's Valentine's Day again, I want to talk about 5 figures that I love and won't sell. You can't make me do it. Doesn't matter crisis I'm in right now or going to be in. I got to hold on to these figures because they're loves of mine. So you could call them my Valentines. Hope you're all having a great Valentine's Day out there as well. Anybody do anything fun? I got the wife some roses, some chocolate, and we just hung out with the kids tonight. So nothing too spectacular, but just keeping it low key. All right, you guys ready for this? The first figure might be a surprise. I was kind of surprised that I picked it. It's going to be the Iron Man Mark 85. Most of my Marvel figures aren't going to fall into this category. And because while I love the Marvel movies, I don't have that same connection as I do to Star Wars or Batman. So I love my Batman and Joker figures, and I love most of my Star Wars figures. I love all of my figures, but there are some that I love so much that I just won't even think about selling. And the only Marvel figure that I can think that I just wouldn't sell would be this Mark 85 clean version, by the way. And yes, it is die cast. And the reason why I really fell in love with this suit, there's a few reasons. This is the final suit that we get of our Tony Stark Iron Man. It is the endgame version, so it's kind of where everything came to a climactic close. And it's clean. It's got a really good paint application, probably one of the best paint applications I've ever seen. It's functional. Doesn't come with a whole lot, but I love the sleek design as well. This figure actually got me to sell my Mark 7 Iron Man, which I never thought I would sell in the first place either. But Yeah, I love this figure. Does anybody else have the 85? The only thing I could think to sell this for would be the battle damage version, but I just don't know if I could even do that because something about this clean version on the shelf looks really awesome. Right now, I have him posed with Endgame Thor and then Endgame Cap. So the Trinity together, they look really good. So this would be a figure that I love. I just don't see myself selling. Got Will Foxification in the house. What's up, sir? Hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. We're just hanging out tonight. We're being in the Valentine's Day mood, and if you guys can hear, my dog is farting next to me, so I apologize if the mic picks that up. She's very old and gassy, so she's hanging out with me tonight. So hopefully she doesn't keep that up. But yeah, Lewis loves the Mark 85. I do too. I really wanted the battle damage version, but the more time I spend with this clean version, I don't know. I mean, that one's iconic, and I would love to have that as well, but I don't know if it's necessary to have or to have both. But if I sell this, it might be for that battle damage version. The next figure that I love that I don't see myself selling is going to be the Beast himself. We talked about if we got him in quarter scale. Well, I have him in 6 scale, and he's not leaving my collection. And that is the Beast himself, BVS Batman, the Ben Affleck figure. And man, I just, this was my first Hot Toys figure that I ever got. So that's probably why it's got that sentimental value to me. But I got him for $250. He was loose. And then what I did was I actually bought the box separately for like $30. So all in, probably about $280 for this guy. And I think I've seen him going for like $500-$600 now. So that is a pretty good turnaround in the price there. But I love the suit. I love the cowl. He looks like, I like the wideness of the cowl. I just like how I guess intimidating he is. The movie's okay. I did enjoy the extended version a lot more than the theatrical version, and I thought every scene that Batman was in, that he just looked awesome. Ben Affleck played the part well. This is my favorite type of Batman, more of the comic book Batman, where he's older, angrier, scarier. He uses weapons, doesn't have the no kill rule. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was cool. I love the voice changer that he had. I love like the kind of um, the 5 o'clock shadow that he had as well. I love the swap out faceplates, and I think the likeness looks really awesome. These pictures actually don't even do it justice. I think maybe because mine's a little bit more beefed up. This suit looks a little loose, but mine has the extra padding in it, so he's like extra beefy. Having that Batmobile in the back would be pretty sweet too. But it's not my favorite Batmobile. But yeah, just some people say he looks a little cross-eyed in the cowl, but I mean, that happens with Batman. Cowl just makes you look a little cross-eyed, but let's see. Jable's 85 is so nice. I had the 46 die cast before. I downsized to only Star Wars. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. I downsized to the 3. And when I first started collecting, I said I wouldn't do that. I was going to just collect what I like, even if it was all the one-offs. But then, like, I fell in love with Marvel, and I've always loved Batman, and I've always loved Star Wars. So then it got to the point where I really want to focus on those because I really like them. But so I had to sell like RoboCop, Terminator, John Wick. I did sell my Wolverine. So I did make that choice to kind of sell those so I could kind of fill out those 3 franchises a little bit more. I don't really regret it yet, but who knows down the road. Lewis says he missed out on this one. Oh, yeah. This is the one that got me into it. We haven't gotten any Book of Boba Fett figures yet, have we? No. Because technically, Daniel, the 2-pack was from Mandalorian, so yep, nothing's been released yet. I don't think anything's going to be released for a while because the repaint isn't expected until Q4 of 2022, and that's at the earliest, so could be a while. Yeah, I was thrown off by the subpar promo pics. He looked not like Batman, but when the BVS Batman was released, he looked awesome. Yeah, I mean, mine looks a lot different than these pictures. Like, he looks really flat here in the abdomen and even the chest. Like, you don't see any of this looseness on my figure at all. So he looks really filled out. So that's not a problem on my figure. But again, mine was modded. But even that head sculpt looks great. Mine are 1989 Batman and Joker, 66 Batman and Robin, Battle Damage Terminator. As if that's a DX13. That's the one of them I let go. And I had to add a 6 because I can't get rid of my BVS Batman. So those are all the figures that Medic G is in love with, and he can't sell on this Valentine's Day. What's up? 1/6 Figure Focus. He says, hey, Graham, what's up? What is up, my friend? Thank you so much for checking in on the channel. I know it's like 4 or 5 a.m. where you're at in the world. If you guys haven't already, stop by 1/6 Figure Focus new YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm not sure if he's over 100 subscribers yet, but he's really close. So check out his channel. He has a lot of good information on Hot Toys and another great member of the community. So head over there and give him some love. Jables is still kicking himself for not getting the 89 Batman and Joker. I was new to collecting at that time and one of my favorite movies. Same here, man. I started collecting when those prices were already too high and I had to bite the bullet and pay a little bit more than I wanted to just to get them into the collection, but I was not going to let them slide. So they are in mine and they won't ever be leaving soon either. But yeah, this one, I'm really still sad that Ben Affleck never got his solo movie, but I guess from everything that he went through filming this, he had a hard time, and making movies is still a job of theirs. And when you're battling with divorce, alcoholism, Snyder having that tragic thing happen to his family, just all that black cloud just kind of hovering over, kind of just takes the fun out of it and kind of makes you just want to be done with the character. So I get it. But the fun thing too about this is we can see just what the price was back in the day when this was released. $234. Could you imagine getting this figure now for $234? Whew. Man, that would be so cool. It's fun, but it's depressing at the same time. Shane says, no problem, dude. Couldn't sleep and saw you were on live, so here I am. That is for the shout. Oh, thanks for the shout out. You're welcome, buddy. We'll have to do a show at some point when I can get on a different time that's better for you, because I know it ain't easy. All right, so the Iron Man is the only one that's in stock now. Everything else is going to be out of stock for the figures that I love and won't sell. And the next one is going to be dun 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 Rogue One Darth Vader. One of my favorite villains along with Joker. Darth Vader. So iconic. And the reason why I picked this over Empire Strikes Back Vader is, one, because his dome doesn't come off. That's actually what I like, is so it doesn't get crooked or fall off randomly. I love how the head tilts down better. I did get my Empire Strikes Back head to tilt down. I just had to adjust the chest plate. But something about this too, the dome just sits more forward. He looks more menacing and intimidating. I love the glossiness look of him. He's kind of got the New Hope look, but he's all glossy. I just think that's awesome. I like the gloves a lot too. They just have more character. I like the design better. So this is a figure that I just don't see myself selling because it's just too good. And I do really like the Empire Strikes Back version as well, but just something about this Vader just is too iconic. I got him, I want to say I purchased him in November, maybe early December. And I got him for like $300, which I think is actually a really good deal, because I have seen him going for the 400 range and topping out at 5. I don't know what his price is at now, but the only thing I worry about this figure is this pleather peeling over time, but we'll figure that out when we get there. But yeah, this is iconic Vader right here. Just love it. When I buy a Boba Fett figure, it's not so much a connection to a particular movie show, but his connection to Star Wars saga. Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that. I agree with that. That's kind of so next month when I get a little bit more sideshow points, I'm looking at possibly getting Lando. Like he's not one of my favorite characters, but I do feel like I need that one for my Star Wars collection. So I kind of understand what you're saying with that. I don't have this one. That's cool. Still need to open the Empire Strikes Back version. And that's a good one too. I mean, you're not disappointed with either of them. And I thought maybe once I got my Rogue One Vader that I would sell my Empire Strikes Back, but I couldn't. Like I try not to collect 2 or 3 or multiples of characters, but if it's Batman, Vader or Joker, I mean all bets are off. I mean, it's probably going to happen, so Lewis says, "Ouchie, I missed out on this Vader as well." Yeah, that's the bad part about the hobby. That Vader is slick. I don't have a Vader. I wonder will they do a 40th anniversary Vader for Return of the Jedi next year? It's possible, but I do think we're gonna get a Vader for Obi-Wan. So if you missed out on a Vader, instead of paying a high dollar amount or even getting the sideshow version, you could just maybe wait and see what happens when Obi-Wan comes out. And I bet we get a Vader with that. But the other thing is you got to wait another year and a half probably to get your Vader. So if you really want one now, if I could pick one, it would be the Rogue One Vader. But I don't think there's anything wrong with getting Empire Strikes Back either. Oh, but Lewis does have Empire Strikes Back Vader. That is a perfect figure as well. I just prefer this one. Never had any issues with peeling, and I've been collecting since 2014. I've never had any issues with anything I've bought new, but I have had issues with things that I've bought used. Obviously, the Catwoman figure that I bought was already peeling. I did that on purpose so I could do a video on how to fix it. The Terminator, the battle damage Terminator from Terminator 1, the coat was starting to peel when I bought that one, so I sold that one off because I just didn't want to mess with it. The Terminator DX13 is actual leather, so that one shouldn't peel. And then I had the Crow figure briefly when I first started collecting, but he was kind of one of them one-offs that just didn't fit into the collection. So I did sell that one, and he was in really good shape, but he might have had one spot where he just was starting to peel. I try to kind of, I don't want to say stay away from pleather, but if I can avoid it, I will, just because I don't want it to be an issue. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I haven't had any issues either. I think it just depends on your environment. The climate. Do you have a controlled climate? Are you, do you have like a dehumidifier? That helps. Stuff like that will help for sure. Right on. I'm super hopeful that we get a battle damaged mythos like Vader from the Disney Kenobi series. That would be cool. It would be cool to get a different variant, if you will, of Darth Vader. And just because I would add him in a heartbeat as well. Any Vader, I'll pretty much get. Clink says same. I'm waiting for new Vader from Kenobi or Return of the Jedi. And obviously, if we get a Return of the Jedi, I would think it'll be just like the quarter scale where we get the head sculpt. That would be pretty sick as well. And yes, I would get that one too. If I got that one, I think I would probably sell my Empire Strikes Back Vader. 6 scale separatist. I have the Sideshow Vader and it's pretty good. I didn't want to pay aftermarket prices for the 40th anniversary one. And Sideshow they've come a long way too. Because I think, isn't it that their second Vader that they did? Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, he's not, again, Sideshow's never going to have anything as good as Hot Toys, but yeah, if you can pay a lot less and he looks decent, then by all means, I say go for it. Vader. All right. Let's go on to the next one, shall we? Wait, let me go back here. So this Vader new was $250. So I didn't pay too much over retail for it. So that's good. I always like searching these and then just kind of seeing what the prices went for. The next one on my list that I love and will not sell, and you can't make me, is the Joker Dx8. Yes, I paid more than $264 for this, but that's okay. Man, this is one of Hot Toys. It's a work of art. It's one of their best figures that they've ever made. Jack Nicholson Joker, Batman from 1989, the first movie I ever saw in theaters. I was 4 years old, and I did fall asleep in it. But it was still a lot of fun. It is one of my favorite Batman movies, and it definitely has the nostalgic feeling. You can't go wrong with a Jack Nicholson Joker. I really actually like the Mime Joker as well. A lot of people didn't like that when it was available on Sideshow. That Joker is amazing as well. I know he was only in that outfit for 2 to 3 minutes in the movie, but that one's worth getting too. But this one is so iconic, I wouldn't sell it. Like Jables says, this is priceless. And I agree. I've seen this guy going on eBay for loads and loads of money. I feel like I paid a load of money, but it wasn't a load and load of money. So again, this is a figure that I looked for about 6 months. I was on the hunt, and you just couldn't get me to go over a certain dollar amount. I just wouldn't do it. I just kept looking and looking and looking. And finally, I found a price that I was willing to pay at a time when I was willing to pay it. And it worked out. Got him. He's in the collection. I love him. He comes with a ton of accessories. Comes with all these dollar bills as well. And the facial expression, like, look at that. That is Jack Nicholson right there with that. It's got the purrs, obviously being a DX, but then with the smile and the eyes kind of tilted up like that. Ah, Bob Gunn. Never rub another man's rhubarb. Am I right or am I right? Oh, Clink says, I only collect Star Wars, but 89 Batman and Joker would tempt me. Yes. And the 89 Batman just missed the cut, but it would be an honorable mention. And I'll give you those honorable mentions before we get to the last one here. Great choice. I got the Joker 2 years after its release, and I got it for $290 on eBay. That's a steal. Good job. 89 Batman is my favorite Batman movie, favorite Batmobile. My favorite Batmobile as well. And for a while, I had my eye on that 6-scale Batmobile, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. Actually, somebody was selling it on eBay like 40 minutes down the road from me. And I almost picked it up, but I just couldn't justify the price tag, so I didn't. I skipped out on it. I kind of regret it, but at the same time, again, space. It's just going to take up so much space that I don't have, and I could get 5 figures for that price. So this town needs an enema. I don't, man, it's just so good. And I don't know, it just takes me back to simpler, better times. So much fun. Best head sculpt, in my opinion, looks like Jack Nicholson. What we should do sometime, we should get together on StreamYard here. We should just watch some of these movies together too. That'd be fun. Best head sculpt looks like Jack Nicholson. It really does. And it's actually interesting. I do think the Mime Joker looks even a little bit better than this one, but this is still amazing. Like, just look at that look. Get me those wonderful toys. And he comes with so many cool things. I had all of the toys, the action figures for Batman as well growing up. So again, it's just it just brings me back. 1989 Batman was the first movie I fell in love with. Yeah, I agree. I got to see the 89 Batmobile when it was here in DC Museum. I saw I saw it at a car show here in Wisconsin as well. I believe it was that one. I took a couple pictures of it, but that was a few years ago. Only 5. That's a hard choice to decide, but 1, this is Daniel's list here. Darkseid Anakin, that's a great one. Palpatine, Empire Strikes Back Vader, Commander Cody, and one of my US Marine figures. That's a great list. I like that list a lot. And it is hard to choose just one. It's almost like picking your favorite food. Like, don't make me do this. Like, I was literally looking at my collection, just like, I don't know. I feel bad not having Marvel on here, but it's like I would sell them if I had to. I love them, but I would sell them to get Star Wars or if there was a Batman figure that came out. So another list would be, which figures would you sell in a heartbeat? Armor, Two-Face, and probably my War Machine Mark 6. Only 3. But yeah, Joker. Batman would kind of go along with this, but he couldn't fit into the 5, so great poses that you can do with this guy too. Saw this movie years after its release. I was 6. Batman is such a great movie. It really is, and Tim Burton did a great job. I remember after Batman Returns, my dad was really big into Batman, and that's probably why I was into it. And they changed directors, and then Batman Forever came out, and I can still remember how disappointed he was when we saw like the changed Batmobile. He didn't like all of the colorful stuff. Like he wanted that dark Batman, and I saw a piece of him die when that came out. All right, so let's go. Before we go to my last one here, some of my honorable mentions that I just couldn't fit on the list were 89 Batman, Nightmare Batman, Groot and Rocket 2-pack. And even though this, I didn't buy it in the 2-pack, it is sold as a 2-pack, so I'm going to include it as a 2-pack. And it's the Chewbacca and Han Solo from A New Hope. Those figures are awesome. That Han Solo looks amazing, and that Chewie looks better than pictures lead on. In person, it does look pretty good. So those would be, I think, my honorable mentions. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any. Oh, and actually my Return of the Jedi Stormtroopers, if you can believe that. Again, just so iconic to Star Wars that I just couldn't sell them. Like, I understand they're not like amazing figures in an aspect of it's not a Vader, it's not a Joker, it's just a Stormtrooper. But having those 2 Return of the Jedi Stormtroopers together and posing them, it's so much fun, and they're just, again, they're so iconic. So I just couldn't get rid of those. But let's take a look. Oh, Lewis says he missed out of I Am Groot. Again, that's another one that I searched for high and low, and then I finally found him with the Rocket 2-pack. So yeah, I had to get him. Jable says it's hard for him to pick 5 since he hasn't opened most of them yet. For sure, Han and Chewie are my faves. I would never sell. Yeah, I agree. Even for the price tag that they're going for, it's tough. It's tough to bring yourself to sell them. I mean, never say never, obviously, but yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. So it's interesting. I know Jables had set up his Maju cases recently, and that's probably why you had a lot in the packages yet. You probably didn't have the room. I think I only have the Hulk from Endgame still boxed up, and I've had him for a while. And I'm just waiting for Maju cases just because I have nowhere to put him. He's not going to fit into a DTOF, and I kind of have everything else full. I had the armor in the box for a while, but then I finally got her out. Oh, and I do have a 3-0 White Walker in the box. He was out very briefly a couple years ago, and then I boxed him up. I thought about selling him, but I think I'll get him out once the Maju cases arrive as well. But it's interesting. I'd love to know if that's the reason you had yours in the box, because man, that'd be hard. It'd be hard to keep a lot of them in the box and not be able to enjoy them. But I know if you don't have the space and you're waiting for it, then that's kind of something that you have to do. And again, I do have a couple in the box still that I haven't gotten out because I'm to the point where I have almost 3 in each DTOF shelf in every DTOF. So I am for sure running out of room. But yeah, I'm hoping late Q1 my Madri cases come, and that's gonna be a game changer. So I know, like, I'll still go back to Jabel's channel just because I'm getting pretty much the same unit. I'll just look at his setup and I'll be like, oh, it looks so nice. Soon, mine will be like that too, but I don't know. But he says, nice. Hope you get your cases soon, man. Yeah, I had to stop opening them for the last 3 years or so. That's tough. But you know what? At least you have them so that you don't have to go back and buy them for the inflated prices. At least you got them when you could, and then you hold on to them, and now you get to enjoy them. So that's really awesome. PC Prof, I found you when you first ordered your module cases. I just got an email from Jack that it is on the freighter from Singapore. It was supposed to be here in January. That's not too bad if January was your first date that they were coming. If that was just a month delayed, then that's pretty good. Because I'm pretty sure. Well, mine was ordered in May, supposed to come in Q4, and then now it's Q1. But now I'm hearing late Q1, so probably March. Yeah, January, February, March. Yeah, so that'd be March probably. My question for you, PC Prof, is well, first, thank you for staying with me and for watching the show. I appreciate that. And my second question, though, or my first question, I guess, is, and Jables, you can answer this too, or anybody else that has Maju cases, but how long does it take to arrive from when it ships? That would be a question that I would have, because I've heard it can be in shipping stage for quite a while too. Medic, my honorable mentions would be Doc and Marty from Back to the Future 2, Han and Chewie, and my DX11 Joker. DX11 Joker is another one that just missed the cut. I don't have any plan to sell that one, but if I had, this is some of the game we're going to play starting next week when we have guests on the show again, is the versus game. DX8 Joker, DX11 Joker, and we put them together. We go versus. Which one would you pick? So that's going to be fun because some of these choices are going to be pretty tough. Separatists, I may get some of the Maji cases. They look really nice. If you can afford it and if you can wait, they are so worth it from what I've seen. They just utilize space so much better than DTOFs. DTOFs are super cheap. They look really nice, but you just have so much space that you can't use. Whereas this can sit in the same footprint, but you get to fit so many more figures in that area. The lighting looks really nice. They're made for this, so they hide the wires really well. The doors come off really nice. It's awesome. So I would suggest at least looking at it. The only regret I have, or I might have, is I got the 6 series. And if I do dabble in quarter scale or statues, they're not going to fit in there. So I'll just have to buy more. Ugh. But yeah, they can be pricey. So not sure. My first set of Maju cases, and I ordered them back in January of 2021. Okay. So you're at, so maybe you're not doing as good as I thought, because that's a year. That's over a year, and I ordered mine in May, so I'm not quite to that mark. So hopefully they can get me mine by March. I'll probably check in again this month at the end of the month and just kind of see where they're at. But without further ado, because I know it's getting a little late here, let's go to the last one. But first, Medic says, which Maju case package did you get? I can show you quick. Let's just head over. Let's head over and see. So my space on the back wall is limited because I have a closet on one side and then a window on the other, and then it kind of runs into my bar. So I couldn't go too big. Also, I have kind of a low ceiling, so I can't go any taller than like the 77-inch mark. But so I'm kind of limited on what I can do. But the ones that I ordered was this guy. So it's basically 8 units, four rows high. So it's the 62200, and it's almost 87 inches long, almost 18 inches deep, and then 77 inches high. So it pretty much fits in the same footprint of my 5D tops. I do think I'm going to keep my riser and then put, the 3 rows on there, and then maybe stack 1 and 2 on top of each other, maybe under my TV where my fake fireplace is, and have those there. But I haven't figured it quite out yet, because if I have the 4 rows, I can't utilize my riser, and I made that out of hardwood, so then I got to toss that. So I'm not sure. I might just still try to utilize that because it is kind of cool, and it's lit up, and I'm starting to put helmets under there and whatnot. So, but the one that I was kind of thinking like maybe I would have been better off buying is this DF series. Gosh, I don't know if you guys can hear my dog snoring now, but it's going crazy. Let's see. It was, I think it was this one. No, I was gonna go with this one, I think. So I was thinking of like seeing if I could switch and do this, but the problem is, well, it's longer, which would be nice, and it's about the same height, but it's 23 and a half inches deep. So it's going to come out into the room a little bit more, which again, if space is, hey, wake up. If space is limited, and it's just extra space, plus it's only 3 rows. So what I'm thinking is, because of the 4 rows, I'll do Star Wars on one, DC on another, and then Marvel on another. And then my bottom row would be like my NECA Turtles, my one-off figures and stuff like that. So, but I thought with this, it's got like a shelf here. You can do this vertical one. So I could put like a statue or the Batman quarter scale in there, just to kind of, I would have more room to work with. These are all taller, so you'd be able to see the figures more because the top won't be as low, so you'll have better viewing angle. But if I put them on the riser, they'll be up a little higher, and then I'll put 2 more maybe in front of my TV, so I'll see those pretty easy. So I'm just gonna stick with what I ordered and kind of go from there. But yeah, that's what I ordered. Hopefully it'll be here quarter 1, and then the fun really begins of putting it together and going through all that stuff. But Jable says, about a month after it clears the port, I got an email on January 7th saying arriving soon, build the 24th, arrive February 7th. About 13 months from first ordering. Oh, gosh. If that holds true now, I won't get mine until June then, because that'll be a good birthday month, I guess. But man, it's so long to wait, and it's like waiting for another figure, but worse. 8 times the 110 cases, it looks like. Is that what you got, Jables? Because I thought we pretty much looked like we had the same thing, but did you get 6? Did you get the hard top accessory? I plan on putting some statues on up there with No, I didn't. Just because my ceiling does hang a little bit low. So I only have like 3 inches above it, or maybe it's like, actually I might have, with it on the riser, I'll probably have more room, but I think I'll just have enough room to put like light boxes and stuff. So I'll probably just do that. I did get some of the risers for inside some of the shelves, the half shelves. So I'll let you guys know if those are pretty good. It seems like it, because I think they have the felt on there as well. But Medic says, great choice. I have 6 of the DF-120s. That was the other ones you were looking at. Okay. Cool. Right. Yeah. So the other ones I was looking at, the 6 series, that's the ones I'm actually getting. I'm getting the 6 2200 is what I'm getting. I think it'll be fine. It's a good choice. You can fit Thanos in there. You know, you'll fit your Endgame Hulk in there as well. So the only problem is I'm not going to be able to fit Thanos on the base. He's going to be too tall. So I'll have to utilize other figures with that base, which will be fine. But without further ado, because I know you guys have been waiting for my last figure that I just love so much that I would never sell. Let me throw that at you. But yeah, 265. That's crazy. The other figure that I wouldn't sell is going to be the Emperor himself, Palpatine. So I know Daniel had him on his list. Well, I have him on my list too, sir. Before we could talk about this, though, Jabel says it's super frustrating to wait so long because there aren't a lot of options for high-end cases. I've been considering looking into designing something myself and seeing if it's cost effective. I know a lot of these guys too, they get the racks from like Menards or a hardware store, Home Depot, the racks, the heavy duty racks with the wood, and then they'll put felt over them, they'll spray paint them, they'll put their own plexiglass on them. I could do all of that except for probably cutting the plexiglass. I've had bad luck with that. Every time I try to cut it, I crack it. And it never works out. So I'm more of just like, I'll just pay the money and get it. But yeah, I mean, there isn't a whole lot out there. It's really just DTOVs. It's just shelves and Maji cases, and that's about it. Unless you get something custom, which is probably really expensive too. But Emperor on the Throne is a must for any Star Wars fan out there. And he looks really, really good as well. Like the likeness to Palpatine is there. The throne is amazing. Uh, I, it's iconic. Star Wars is really what it is. A lot of people I notice have trouble with the hood, though. I always really, whatever pose I have them in, really try to have that hood forward and, covering up more of the face because he just looks so much more evil, kind of like this. But it's got the wire in it, so it forms very well. He comes with a Luke Skywalker lightsaber, comes with his lightning effects. This guy I bought on the secondhand market on eBay, and I got him with the throne for $280. Somebody was just selling them to get out. And I mean, that is under retail. And I got him back in, I think, late 2020. That is a steal because he has been going for $600-700 at points. So I'm really, really excited on the price that I got him for. And again, iconic. That's kind of what I started with Star Wars. I'm getting the iconic figures that I really mean a lot to me. And then I'll fill them out with the C-3POs or the Landos or other figures like that. But yeah, look at that. Like Jabel says, the expression is so good. It really is. Let's see here. PC Prof. This Palpatine with both guards is drool worthy. I started collecting way after it was sold out. Yes, you're right. You are right about that. It is. It's just funny because it reminds me of the conversation we had a week or two ago, and I know Daniel was part of that, where I just couldn't justify buying those guards just because of the price is like $400 or $500 for those guards now, and they don't do anything in the movies. We don't see them very often. They would look cool though with your Palpatine. Like if you could get those for a good deal, then yeah, I would. But right now, I just have Empire Strikes Back Vader standing next to the Emperor in his throne, kind of looking like his henchman. But you got to get the throne though if you're gonna get this guy. This, like, some people say like, well, no matter what, you got to get the throne or you got to get the deluxe, and I'm not all about that. Like, I will. if it doesn't make sense for me, like, for example, Mando, the Chrome Mando with the baggage that he's gonna get, like, I'll save the $40 and not get it because I'm never gonna use it. So I don't think there's always a time and a place to get the deluxe, but this would for sure be one where you have to go get the deluxe because it's just so, so awesome. We got J Lamb in the house. Hey there, what is up? Medic says Palpatine is such a great figure. I have too many Star Wars figures and I can't have him sitting on his throne. Yeah, I've changed him up a little bit in the DTOF. He's in the throne. And then for a while I had two stormtroopers behind him standing with his hand, but yeah, it's and that's again why I'm really looking forward to getting my Maju cases so I have more room because I can only fit him in the throne and Vader in the DTOF right now. So, I mean, if you have a DTOF and you have him in the throne, you're not even going to be able to get those guards in there as well. So, hey, we got Optical 20 in the house. Man, I feel like got a celebrity in here. I wish I would have gotten him back with free shipping and like 25 off, I think. I thought it was going down more. Yeah, and that's the crazy part about this hobby is just you have those opportunities to get these figures for like a good price, but it might not be on your radar, or maybe you just whatever the case, you just didn't get it, and then it just goes out of stock, it blows up. And again, I got him after he was already sold out and I picked him up for 280. So probably the biggest Hot Toys steal that I've ever gotten. So yeah, he will not be leaving my collection. Daniel, Medic G, he doesn't sit on the throne too well and his feet dangle on the floor. I have the throne in the box. His feet do dangle. What I do, I don't have him sitting far back in the throne. I have him kind of sitting upright, kind of like he's talking and interacting with somebody and pointing, and his feet are pretty close to the ground. But what you can do as well is you can have his base be in front of the throne, and then his feet do rest on there just to kind of look a little bit more natural, I guess. Lewis, we got Optical in the house. Clink, I hope they re-release him. I was not collecting. Then I could see us getting Palpatine from Revenge of the Sith. I think we could get that at some point, because he had more of like that purple robe. He did look different in that movie as well. So you never know. Optical says, "What's up, Lewis?" Now I need to watch Return of the Jedi to see if his feet dangle. I don't think they did, but let me know, Jables, if they do, because I'd be curious to know that as well. That's the only gripe I had, but the chair is so good looking. It really is, and the light up features. Typically what I do with it as well, or what I'll do when my Maju cases are all set up, I'm going to hardwire my Han Solo in carbonite, the throne, probably my Vader, Empire Strikes Back Vader stand, and then I also have like the bat signal from the Dark Knight trilogy, amongst a couple other things. I'm going to hardwire them all. They'll all be on one switch, and then you can light them up all together. So, and don't have to worry about going through batteries. So that'll be really cool too. So again, it's like I have all these plans for these Maju cases and for the display and what I want it to look like, but I just can't seem to get them to come in because there's only one factory in worldwide where they ship out of, so that's a problem. But Optical says, I thought we were getting a reissue from the Rise of Skywalker. Oh yeah, that would be cool if he comes with the whole arm thing that he's like attached to, and they made like a whole diorama base out of that. That would be pretty cool. Although that movie really pissed me off because they're like the writing was just so lazy. Like somehow Palpatine is back, and now we move on. Like we're not going to explain it. We're just going to say somehow because we don't know either. Like I don't know. Again, I tried watching the Last Jedi today, and I just couldn't do it. Couldn't get through it. I couldn't watch Luke milk that animal. I couldn't watch them go to the casino planet. I was bored. But Rise of Skywalker actually was okay. It's just if you can get past some of those flaws on where we kind of just make stuff up about the Force, it's actually pretty decent Star Wars. So I don't like to hate on it too much. 1/6 figure focus just hit 100 subs. Thank you, he says. Hey, no problem. you guys weren't on before, go to his channel and sub. He's a great guy in the community from Ireland, and I gotta head out there sometime and get me some Irish whiskey, man. So yeah, congrats on the 100 subs, man. Next goal's gotta be 1,000. I'm sure you'll get there before you know it. And if you guys haven't already, like this video, subscribe to the channel because we are on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without each and every one of you. Gotta say, I love the community. I love doing these live streams. I like being able to interact with you guys and just hang out. So I appreciate you guys hopping on, even if it's just for a few minutes. Makes my night. Makes my Valentine's Day night. Dude, I got him for 220 when Rise of Skywalker came out. The Emperor and Throne? 220? Get out of here. Optical says, 1 6-figure focus. That was me. Congrats. He got you there. Awesome. Jables is on his way too, so hopefully you get 101 there, man. I got Kyle in the house. I bet the moment when Anakin shows up in the Kenobi show, he will get to 700 on eBay. Well, I mean, from what I've seen, I think he's already there. Like, I thought Dark Side Anakin, I thought he was already hitting $700 mark, but we can check. Anakin. That'd be 650. Well, okay. Asking price is a lot different than what he's selling for. So let's go to the sold listings here. 659 pre-owned, guys. 659 for Dark Side Anakin pre-owned. 540 pre-owned. 469. 950 for a brand new Dark Side Anakin. Are you kidding? 560 pre-owned. 591. Accepted offer on 800. 650 pre-owned. Best offer on 700. So he's going for a good amount. So would he even go higher once Kenobi comes out? I don't know, but I do hope we get another Vader. I'm holding out for an Obi-Wan figure because I'm not willing to pay the high price for, I think it's Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. I can't justify spending that much, but I do want an Obi-Wan, and I don't think I want the is it Alec Guinness? That doesn't sound right. I can't go for the old one, but let's just see what the Emperor's going for as well. $570. I know for a while he was reaching the $700 mark. Here's pre-owned $655. What's this? Oh, $1 for the box. That's a pretty good deal. $358 for just the Emperor, no throne. That's not bad. $624. Accepted offer on $640. $650 pre-owned. $525. So, I mean, his price is kind of a little bit all over the place as well, but so you might be able to get him first too. I mean, for $455, hell, I'd be all over that too if I don't already have him. I'm also curious on that Rogue One Vader. Because like I told you guys, I thought I got him for a pretty good deal at 300. So brand new 500, 475, 500, 375 loose though. 442, 300, 340. So he can be had for a pretty reasonable price as well. I mean, 325 I don't think is too bad. What did he sell for new? 250? I mean, that's not terribly over market value. 330? It's not bad. That's not Rogue One. Oh, Jenner. So I wouldn't mind getting that one as well, but I'm not paying for those prices either. That's not Rogue One. It looks like we're getting out of the search a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking on eBay for certain figures, I always try to look at the sold listings just to kind of see what it's been going for. Just because some of these prices that they're asking is just astronomical. So don't just, base it off of what the asking price is. And it might take you a while to get the figure, but at least you'll know what you're willing to spend. And, you just got to be patient with it a little bit and kind of go from there. But those were my Valentine's figures that I love so much that I just am not willing to sell. It would be the Iron Man Mark 85, the Batman BVS Batman, the Star Wars Rogue One Darth Vader, the Joker DX8, and the Emperor and his throne. I just can't do it. So let's just check back in with you guys. Oh, Guinnesses are on him. All right, let's all head over across the pond, get ourselves a drink. That's awesome, Shane. No, I'm really happy for you, man. He says, thank you to Optical for subbing. Jables, I didn't pick up Darkseid. I made a mistake. I just didn't want to buy them both. I'm happy with the light side, though. Yeah, Lightside's pretty good, too. I mean, for the most part, they're the same figure. It's just, the eyes are painted different color, and the base is going to be different. The base is pretty cool with Darkseid Anakin. I paid more than I wanted to pay for mine as well. I think I paid like $575, but it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. 500. Wow. Kyle says he has the Empire Strikes Back Vader, but a Rogue One Vader reissue would be awesome from the Kenobi show. Or maybe like somebody said, maybe like just a different version. Maybe we see something different about Vader. Maybe more like a mythos style or something like that. I guess we just never know, because every time I feel like I know something, it's like totally different. Like when we talk about Book of Boba Fett finale, it was totally different than I thought it would be. So PC Prof, why is Rogue One Vader considered so good? For me, the reason why I explained it for me was that he kind of has a New Hope look, that Vader look, but he's really shined out. Like he's not matte finished like that one is. The other thing would be, I love the gloves a lot more on the Rogue One Vader. They're just more, there's more character to them. I like just more aesthetically pleasing, in my opinion. And then the dome, the dome sits more forward. He looks more menacing and intimidating. And I feel like he's more posable too. Like his head can pose down. It doesn't hit the chest plate as much. So for me, that's kind of why I like that one. But like I said too, Empire Strikes Back Vader, there's nothing wrong with that figure either. There's just a couple things that I nitpick that kind of bother me about it. So like the dome always, when you bump it and it kind of goes off center or just falls off. I don't like the gloves as much. I don't think they are as nice looking. And then I always had problems getting his head to kind of come down. It always bumps into the chest plate. I did kind of move it a little bit, so it's not as bad now, but I just think the Rogue One Vader looks more menacing, I guess, is what it comes down to. Jedi Dick Sensei, happy Valentine's Day, you dorks. Hey, happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for stopping in. His chest piece pops off more with the colors, and most consider the cape to look the best. Also, for OG collectors, he's the best OG figure. Yeah, that's true. It's true. All right, let me just let me check here. So, yeah, we didn't get through everything, but I think we pretty much got through mostly everything. And geez, we're running on 2 hours here, so it's a lot longer than I thought we would run. But hey, I appreciate you guys sticking with me tonight. This was a lot of fun as always. I actually thought about canceling tonight just because Valentine's Day, brother cousins, had something come up. Thought maybe a lot of you would just be busy, but I'm really happy with the turnout we had. This was a lot of fun. I really like talking collection and nerd stuff with you guys. So thank you so much for watching the show, for supporting the channel, and just for being a part of the community, because that's what's so awesome about this hobby, is the community of guys and gals. Things coming up on the channel. later this week, Endgame Thor review coming out. Next week, I'll be trying to get another guest on the show. We're going to start we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about, but we'll have the verses going on. So, figures that we would pin against each other and which one would we pick to come out on top. I think that'll be really interesting and really fun to do. I did get that Hasbro Stormtrooper Black Series helmet in, so I'll probably review that in the next couple weeks as well. And yeah, outside of that, I think that's pretty much it. Just looking forward to continuing to grow the channel and hang out with you guys. So yeah, I hope you all had a great Valentine's Day, Valentine's evening. Hope you're all staying safe out there. And until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.